Hello and welcome to SKR Yoga and Wellness. My name is Sam and today we are doing a class that is perfect for runners. So this is a really great and quick little stretch you can do either before or after a run. So I'm not going to waste any time and we're just going to jump right in. You're going to get started in child's pose. So I'm going to turn to face the front of my mat. Make sure your knees are all the way together and arms are going to float forwards. Really just allowing the spine to curve, hips to fall towards your heels, forehead is melting onto the mat. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And then at the end of your last exhale, just send your hips over to the right side. And you might need to use your hands to kind of hold your upper body a little bit. But you're just sending your hips over towards the right. And you should feel a bit of a stretch in your right glute here. And on your next inhale, coming back to center. And then exhale, letting the hips drop off of the heels towards the left side. You might need to adjust and play with where you feel the stretch most here. And on your inhale, coming back to center. From here, we're going to come right away into downward dog. So walking out your palms, tucking your toes, sending your hips up towards the ceiling. And take a moment to really settle into this down dog. So walk out your feet, bend and stretch your knees, shrug your shoulders down your back. Shake your head out, yes and no, and really send that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Now from here, we're going to lift the heels, let them drop over towards the right side. Now bend into your right knee and come on up into your left fingertips. So you should feel a really nice side body stretch here, and you may even feel this a little bit into your IT band. Just breathing into wherever you feel this most. And coming back to center, and then we'll lift the heels, bringing them over to the left, bending the left knee this time, coming up onto your right fingertips. And coming back to center, walk your feet forward to the front of the mat. Feet can be hip-width distance apart. Let your knees bend. Grab opposite elbows and just hang over top of your legs. So we're here in a ragdoll fold, really allowing your spine to dangle towards gravity and hang over your legs. So we're really not using much energy or muscle tension to hold ourselves here. Take a couple more breaths. And now releasing the hands back onto the floor. You're going to take your right foot and cross it behind the left. And you're going to flex into that foot and then play with different variations of bend into your left knee. What we're trying to stretch here is your IT band. So wherever you feel the stretch most, it'll be a little bit different for everyone, I suspect. So play with where the stretch feels best for you. And then breathe into that place. Try to still relax the back of your neck. So continue to shake your head out yes and no if needed. And we'll come back to center. Right foot comes to meet left. And then repeating that right away on the second side. So left foot crosses behind the right, flexing the foot and finding whatever degree of bend in the right leg feels best. Relaxing the neck. And floating the left foot back to meet the right, hip width distance apart. Bend into your legs and slowly Pull your belly button into your spine and roll up vertebra by vertebra. Head and shoulders are the last thing to recover as you come to stand. And we'll continue. Taking your right knee, lifting it up, grabbing a hold of it in your palms. Now pull it into your chest for a second just to get a sensation of what that feels like. Really pulling your knee in closer to you. And then we're gonna reverse that intention. So now pushing your knee into your hands and your hands resisting that push. So this is just releasing your lower back slightly. So really send the knee in towards your hands. And your hands and arms aren't necessarily pulling, they're just stopping that knee from crashing to the floor. And flex at your right foot. We're gonna take this leg, cross it over the top of your left thigh. Hands come into prayer position, and then we're gonna send the hips back, finding standing pigeon pose. So again, we're targeting a stretch into the glutes here, with a nice long spine from the top of your head all the way down to your tailbone. Feel your belly button engaged, pulling in towards your spine. Breathing deeply. Thumbs are attached to your sternum in front of your chest. And on your next inhale, come back to stand. Float the knee up once more. And then we're gonna send that heel back, finding warrior three. So your toes and knee of your right foot are pointing towards the floor. You're no more than parallel to the floor with your upper body. And your arms can stay in prayer position in front of your chest, or if you'd like an extra challenge, you can extend them up by your ears. Keeping the core engaged. 2 more breaths here. And now from here, bending into the left knee softly like you're stepping onto a cloud, sending your right foot back to find a runner's lunge. Of course, in our class for runners, we had to include runner's lunge. Seems the most fitting. Breathing deeply, still feeling your belly button engaged. Core is nice and strong. And we will exhale the palms down to the mat, finding plank and going into your flow. So exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take about 3 breaths here before we go to the other side. And on your next inhale, looking forward between the palms, walking your feet in. Inhale to find flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over your shins. And inhale, up, push to stand, hands come up overhead. Exhale, hands float down to your chest. Now we repeat that on the second side. So lifting your left knee up into your chest. Once again, feel that pull of pulling the knee in towards your chest, and then reversing that, sending your knee in towards your hands, and really allowing your hands to stop the knee from going down to the floor. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up into your ears here, that they're staying sliding down your back so your neck is long. And we'll flex into the left foot, finding standing pigeon on the second side. So inhale, get taller and longer. Exhale, sending your hips back, maintaining your nice long spine. This time feeling the stretch into the left glute. Core is engaged, belly button pulling in. Shoulders are still sliding down your back. 1 more breath. And on an inhale, coming back to stand, floating that knee up towards your chest. And then on an exhale, sending it back, finding warrior three. And once again, once you've found your alignment with your hips square and legs straight, you can extend your arms out beside your ears. Stay here for 3 more breaths.
And bending into the right knee, floating the left toes back to find a runner's lunge. Arms are still reaching up beside your ears. Keep your belly button scooping in towards your spine. You should feel a nice stretch in front of your left hip flexor here. And floating the palms back down onto the mat. Finding plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. This is our final down dog. So any little movements you want to make to finish off here. And we'll flip the knees down onto the mat, flipping over onto your back. So we're coming into a prone position. Keeping your left leg or your left foot planted into the floor. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, just like we did when we were standing. And then on an exhale, extend that foot up towards the ceiling and grab a hold of whatever you can here. Just make sure we're not grabbing right behind the knee. So either on your thigh or a little bit above by your calf. And just gently pulling that leg towards you. If you have a bit of a bend in your right leg, it's totally okay. What we're aiming for is a stretch in your hamstrings here. So right along the back of your leg. So wherever you need to be to feel that stretch is totally okay. We're gonna inhale here, and on an exhale, grab the outside of your leg and then just cross it over your body. Your left knee will fall to the floor, which is fine. Just make sure that your right shoulder and your right shoulder blade stay plugging in towards the mat. So your shoulders are still square, but the rest of your body is twisting. And you should feel a pretty nice stretch into your IT band here. Taking 2 more breaths. Now from here, we're gonna float the legs back up, cross your right thigh over your left, and bring both knees in towards your chest. From here, flex your feet and grab a hold of your shins or your ankles, whatever you can, and just very gently hug your heels closer towards your upper body. This pose will look a little bit different person to person, but you do want to find another nice stretch into your glutes and maybe into your IT band on that right leg here. The key here is to keep your legs at a 90-degree angle, so you don't want to have your legs bent in too close or too straight. We're making 90 degrees with both knees. Try to keep your tailbone pushing into the floor. And on your next exhale, we will release both feet back down onto the mat. Doing that same thing now on the second side. Pulling your left knee in towards your chest. Maybe give your ankle a nice big circle. And then we'll extend that leg up towards the sky. Again, grabbing hold of whatever you can, just not behind your knee. And softly pulling that leg in closer towards you. Breathing into that stretch in your left leg. So really imagine yourself sending oxygen to your left hamstrings. And then we'll inhale here. And on your next exhale, grab the outside of your left leg. Let your right knee fall, and we're gonna twist that leg all the way over. Feeling that stretch in your IT band. Left shoulder and left shoulder blade are flat against your mat. You might find it useful if the floor is really far away here to put that foot on a block or perhaps on a pillow, just to close that gap. Again, as long as you're finding the stretch in your glutes, it's totally okay. We'll take 1 more breath here. And then firming up the belly to float the legs back to center, crossing your left thigh over your right. hugging your knees in towards you. Flex the feet, grabbing your ankles and just very lightly pulling your knees in towards you. Remembering that we should have a 90-degree angle in both legs, keeping those feet flexed, and try as best you can not to curl your tailbone up off the floor too much, but to keep it sending towards the mat. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And unravel, unwind your legs. And we'll right away come back into a seated position. This is where I will leave you. So we're skipping Shavasana, skipping any sort of meditation today because I really do want to make this a short practice so you can apply this either before or after a run. Please don't forget though to like this video and subscribe to SKR Yoga and Wellness. It really does help me out in posting these videos and I really do appreciate the support. So thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed or will enjoy your run and have a great rest of your day.